There are not many places in this world where we can take a look into the past, but we found the Emporium on Gay Street where we were able to walk on part of the original street, the sidewalk that existed in 1919, 105 years ago. And guess what? We got the footage thanks to lovely Lisa, our tour guide. Thanks, Miss Lisa. Welcome to Some Stories of Mine and to the series This Happened Here. A special welcome back to all my subscribers. Thanks for always being here. If you just happened to be scrolling around and got here, welcome. And let me tell you what we do here. We travel anywhere to find true and interesting stories and share them with you. Stories that will inspire, spook, or weird you out. Whatever it is, we bring it to you. If this is something that would interest you, go ahead and subscribe. And if you like this content, let me know by clicking the like button. This episode, the third part of a 3-part series of Gay Street in Knoxville, Tennessee, will not be long. But before we talk about underground Gay Street, let me remind ourselves of what we looked at in the first episode. Well, in week 1, we told the story of 44-year-old Korean War veteran Robert D. Patty, one of America's first serial killers. He gunned down 3 people on Gay Street and wounded 2 on May 11, 1976. Then last week, we told the story of 2 of the massive fires that burnt multiple buildings on Gay Street, taking many lives and incurring millions of dollars in losses. And today we're going under, not Australia, but underground Gay Street. Take a look at what we would have seen in 1919 if you walked Gay Street. We are outside the basement/first floor of the Emporium, looking at what people living 105 years ago would have been looking at if they walked on the sidewalk back then. The Emporium was built in 1895, and when the building was built, this was the original sidewalk, and beyond this wall was Gay Street. Now, why did they do this? Well, back then, the train tracks area was wide and dangerous for cars and people due to the industrial age with a lot of trains coming and going daily. So the city wanted to find a safe way to cross these train lines. To fix that problem, the city decided to raise 2 blocks on Gay Street so that it would not be too steep for the vehicles, turning all these first-floor buildings into basements. Construction started in early 1919 and ended in late 1920. This sidewalk has been left as is by the Emporium. They are considering paving over the surfaces, but they are in talks considering paving over the surface to eliminate these trip hazards caused by metals left on the sidewalk and the uneven ground. The other buildings on this block have been using this space, some as their basement and others as just another floor for their businesses. The Knoxville Utility Board, KUB, also uses their space as the location for their vault. I could not find much information about the building of the viaduct due to the race war and other things happening at the time, but I'm happy that we got some pictures to show you. As you can see, this was a massive endeavor, but now everything is working as it should, making travel on Gay Street much safer and easier to navigate. This was fun to explore and an eye-opener for me. I hope it was for you as well. Okay, so that is that for Gay Street, Knoxville. I hope you found all these stories from the first episode to this episode as interesting as I did. Come back next week as we continue our travel around the US to find more interesting stories. Remember to love yourself and others, and I will catch up with you next week. Bye.